Saturday morning flights in.
It's not morning, you drongo. It's evening.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
Good morning, good day, and good night. Welcome to Positive Rate. I'm your host today, Willie Canuck. We got a tricky one today, guys. Really tricky. We're going to Innsbruck. We are departing from the amazing Copenhagen Airport. This is scenery available from Orbix. I can see Nighthawk on the tarmac. Nighthawk, big hello to you. If you're watching, give us a shout out in the chat. We love to hear from everyone. Let us know where in the world you are today. And of course today I'll be flying, if I can find my plane, and here I am, the amazing fly-by-wire A32NX, completely free, completely amazing. And of course we got this lovely Positive Rate paint job courtesy of our livery painter Dark Fury, also known as Flight Designs. I think I got some dogs barking out, so I'm not sure what's going on. But yeah, Copenhagen Airport. I've been here. I've actually been in this airport. It's pretty big. It does take up to the Airbus 380. Nighthawk says, "Morning, everyone. How you doing?" Train station comes right into the place as well, which is really, really cool. Very, very good transit connections. You can very quickly get to Sweden if you want from this airport. In fact, if you're going to places like Malmo, it's probably actually preferred to fly to Copenhagen because there's not a lot of direct flights to Malmo, unfortunately. So this is a way to do it. I don't think there's much in the way of internal detailing on this one, but it does look great from the outside, I must admit. Anyway, what are we doing today? I got an amazing flight plan on. I don't have my camera on yet. Hang on. Hello! How are you? Hope you're all doing well. Got my courtesy Harry Potter hat today. I'm not from the good house. No. And actually, when I got this, my kids were very distraught. They thought I would have something different, but no, that's all right. I joined the dark side, that's what I say. Or joined the green side, for that matter. Anyway, flight plan today. Let me just punch that up for you here. We are, as I mentioned, going from Copenhagen Airport, runway 4 right. So that is, we're currently sitting up there. So we're going to be back out, and we'll need to make our way down to 4 right, which is here. Easiest way to do that, just come down through, I can't remember what those taxiways are, but Bravo is what we want to intercept. Take Bravo all the way down to the bottom, all the way down, and get set up on runway 4 right. Taking off, we'll be using the Nexen 2A departure, so that pretty much looks like this. Straight out, and then a couple right turns on course through, I think it's Bista to Nexen. So if we just look at the plan here, yeah, there you go. So right through Bista and Nexen on a southwesterly initial departure down to Mykonos, and then we'll be hooking a left turn, heading more south-southeast. And we do this kind of little hooky thing around here. It's interesting. It's something to do with the control zones. Now, this is where things get really exciting. Okay, so we're coming in through the, it's a Tulsi 3A arrival into Innsbruck. It's runway 8 today. And that means we have to overfly Rattenberg here, which is Romeo Tango Tango. Safe altitudes are very much in play here. You must be over 9,500 feet. But if we get into the approach for runway 8, we're going to intercept LMM at 13,000. So we're probably going to be about 14,000 by the time you hit Romeo Tango Tango. Slow the airplane right down to 210 knots. You really don't want to be going fast. I did a little bit of a practice run a while ago on this and almost lost the airplane. It was very, very difficult to keep things in check with this airplane. So and when you come in, you're from LMM, then you hit your first departure point, which is Whiskey India 749. It is precision approach, 3.6 degree downward descent as you work your way towards runway 8. And there's a little bit of hooking back and forth here, so you're basically swooping through the valley. Big hill to watch around here as well. And then we're coming in for runway 8. Not a great long runway either, guys. It's only 6,500 feet. So again, another positive landing more than likely. You know, lots of brakes, lots of reverse thrust to get fully stopped, and hopefully we'll do it justice. Can't make any real promises here, but it's tricky. It's a tricky approach. I can't say anything different. It is listed in the dangerous airports database. You do need specific training to fly this in real life as well. So yeah, anyway, we're gonna jump into the cockpit. We've got everything all set up here pretty much. We've already had our baggage loaded, and our catering truck has been along. Just gonna check on payload. We still have passengers loading up. Actually, I'll bring those sim noises up too, because I can't hear a damn thing right now. There we go. And we're taking 166 passengers today. Now that is actually translated if you go into the departure calculator, which is absolutely lovely. Really love it. Flying with taking off with PAX 1 gives us a V1, a VR, and V2 respectively, 151. So we're running quite quick. Flux temperature 68 degrees. That's all plugged into the FMC here. As you can see, all ready to go. And flight plan is of course loaded. Our INS is aligned. So we're just waiting on those final passengers to board. There's always one, isn't there? There's always some couple that are off in the bar, not paying attention, having a grand old laugh, and it's not until they get chased on the tannoy saying you better show up at the airport, and it's a big pain because they really do want people to show up, because if they've got checked-in baggage under European law, I don't know if it's the same in North America. I think it is. But in European law, if you got checked-in baggage and it's in the hold and the passengers don't show up, they have to go and take off that luggage, and that takes a long time depending on where it's buried and how much they got to haul out. They pretty much got to unpack half the bloody airplane at times to try and locate the luggage, and that can materialize to up to a 30 to 45 minute delay. So yeah, we don't like passengers that don't show up on time, but we don't have many left, maybe about 10-15 to still board. We should get a note or a mention from the flight attendant once that comes in. So I'm going to put on our no smoking signs here. Wait for those final passengers to board, and we'll get the gate retracted and start getting things ready to go. Block time about 2 hours, so we've got a good haul. That's why I sometimes do cold and dark, but usually if the block time's pushing a bit on the longer side, I'll tend to get the airplane set up nice and quick ahead of time. Initial altitude going to fly about 12,000. It's pretty much open departure. There's no altitude restrictions on the way out, so we just want to get up, get high, and get going. There are some step climbs you'll see in the route today. We may or may not do them. I might just hold the airplane at flight level 360, but at Mykonos we do have the option of flying up to 390 and then dropping down to 380 at Romeo Delta Golf. But I'll see how I feel. And of course, once we get up to cruise altitude, we do have news today. If you're watching on Restream too, please do hit, or watching live, please hit the like button for me. Please hit that subscribe button for me. It really helps us out. We're trying to grow the channel. We've been doing it for a while. We have passed the threshold of 300 subscribers, so a huge thank you to everyone that subscribed in recent weeks. Really do appreciate it. And I think, you know, target, I want to get to 500 by Christmas, guys. 500. Come on, let's go. 500. So if you've already subscribed, tell your friends, come along. You can fly with us, of course. We've had that question before. We always fly on North Europe server, and you're welcome to join us.
Boarding completed.
Anytime you want. Thank you very much, dear. Those are our passengers fully loaded now, so we can retract that jet bridge. We'll get the APU started. Let's go. I'm going to put the beacon on just to let everyone know that we've got hot exhaust coming out of the airplane.
Arm doors and cross-check.
Waiting for that flat open indicator there, just so we can, before we start the APU.
Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck,
there we
on
go.
Myself, your captain, the first officer and cabin crew, I'd like to take the
And
time
let
to
that
welcome you
spool
aboard our
up.
flight. We're just wrapping up some paperwork up front here and waiting to see the final numbers from the ground crew, then we'll be on our way. Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly with a very important safety briefing. We
Of
do
course.
ask that you give them your full, undivided attention as they review the safety operations of this Airbus aircraft. We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. Welcome aboard.
Okay, that is the flight briefing ready to go, so we can put the seatbelts on at this point. And we shall request that the tug to connect to the airplane. While we're waiting on that one, just figure out where our airplane is going here, and I think we want to set it up around there. And if you could just pull us forward just to nose up onto the taxiway here, that would be great. I think that's the taxiway. Taxiway's here. Okay. Couldn't quite see it. There we go. I'll do it. So that is planned in. We'll just wait for
Okay, the bypass is installed. All doors and hatches closed and the ground equipment is removed.
yeah. Ground power is now off.
Parking brake set, lifting the aircraft.
Thank you. So once again, hope you're having a good Saturday today. And we can start push back there.
Go ahead.
Push back, please. Nose to the left.
Okay, please push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brake is released.
Commencing pushback. Please start the engines in sequence.
Thank you. Fuel's coming on here. We've got bleed air into the system. We can start the chrono. Engines to start. Just give a little bit of space, make sure to get out. Don't want to give anyone a blast here. And engine one. And one is live. '21, '22, and N2. Waiting for that fuel to kick in now. All automated. N2's lifting. just wait for our tug driver to tow us nice and tidy onto the taxi line here. There we go. Ooh, that's an interesting little side slip there. Must be Japanese. Drifting. Looking good. Nice perfect lineup on the taxiway there. Okay. Let's see, is Nighthawk? Yep, Nighthawk is ready to go. Looks like he's going to follow me down. That's fine. Nighthawk, it's up to you. If you'd like to go first, I'll get a nice drone shot of your takeoff.
Okay, pushing back completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake is set, sir.
Parking brake set. Moving aircraft.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Clear to disconnect and has been removed to the other side. Have a safe flight.
Thank you. Okay, we can start engine 2. There's fuel kicking in. Fantastic animations for a free aircraft. You just can't beat it, can you? Okay, we got good start on engine 2. Waiting for power to show available there. I think it might already be, actually. No, still coming up. Still spooling. There we go. Power is available. Take off the APU bleed and turn off that APU. Taxi lights can come on and ignition can go to off. And we'll set flaps. See those leading edges come down. There we go. Nighthawk is going to lead the way for us down to 4 right. Brakes can come off. A little bit of throttle. While we're here, we'll do a flight control check, shall we? Pitch back, pitch forward, center, bank left, bank right, center, or sorry, rudder left, rudder right, and center. And quick check on everything is looking good to go. Okay, bit of throttle. And we'll start moving that airplane. And we say goodbye to Copenhagen, thank you very much, as we make our way on our dangerous approach today. One of the trickier ones that we do into Innsbruck in Austria. Some beautiful, beautiful scenery coming in on this approach as well, guys. It's really, really worthwhile. Always love flying in and out of Austria because you just get spectacular views. It's really, really something. Don't want to get too close to Nighthawk here. Excuse me. we go, on to Bravo. And this will take us all the way down to runway 4 right now. We are crossing an active runway here, so we'll get our lights on and strobe. Quick check both directions. Anything coming? No, it's not active. We know that, but we just want to make sure that we're visible. Everyone can see us. And we're now past that, so we can turn those off for now. And we're cruising. We've got a Russian visitor by the looks of it. Hello, sir. Unfortunately, we don't speak Russian, so if you could just say something in English, that would be great. Like that little Russian flag popping in there as well. Hawk is moving at a sprightly pace to get down the runway 4, right? That's for sure. Yeah, so as mentioned, we do have news when we get up to cruising altitude. Cruising altitude will be 36,000 feet. And I could do with a coffee as well, so I'll probably break away just for briefly when we're climbing, just to go get that sorted out. Wind-wise, it doesn't look too bad today. I think. Yeah, about 6 knots, so nothing really major. Innsbruck, on the other hand, that could be a different story. Innsbruck is actually 2509 knots, so again, nothing too major to worry about. Tippy's in there. He says, "Good morning. Hello. How are you? How's your missus doing? Hope she's well as well." We are flying from Copenhagen to Innsbruck. It'll certainly be challenging, but it'll definitely be fun. Nighthawk is moving to the runway, so we'll let Nighthawk line up and wait. Doing well, just getting up. All right, okay. Well, good morning to you, and I hope today is meeting you well. And you see our stop line there, so we'll get right up and cozy to that. And bring plane to stop. Put on those parking brakes. Let's jump on the drone camera. And we'll get a shot of Nighthawk, also in that amazing positive rate livery Airbus 320, taking off. Oh, see his lights just came on. It's always fun to watch fellow simmers take off, I find. There we go. I think we're spooling up. Yes, we are. We will chase them down the runway here. They'll surely catch up to us at some point, though. Nice long rotation there, and up he goes. Beautiful takeoff. Okay. Now it's our turn. Right, so we will need predictive wind shear and weather radar. Transponder should be on, and TCAS.
Please prepare to take off.
Spoilers in the arm position. Brakes to RTO. Let's go. Cool shot. Yeah, I love doing that. That's why it's more fun playing with friends. I mean, you can kind of get those shots doing it yourself, but you have to pretty much do it as a replay, don't you? Okay, we are lined up, and I've done the classic too. I forgot to put my lights on, so let's get those up. Slight mishap there. Standing on the brakes, bring up power to 50%. Brakes can come off. Flex SRS. Light crosswind. Knots. 120. 140. And rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Wait until we get up to that thrust reduction altitude. It's about 1500. There it is, and climb thrust. Start to drop that nose. Airplane's starting to accelerate. I'll put on the autopilot. And the flaps can come in. Airplane is completely cleaned up. Departure looking good. Don't want to let the cabin crew loose just yet until we make those first initial turns. Plane is speeding up nicely to 250 knots as we hit our first bank. And we say goodbye to Copenhagen. Thank you very much. And we'll get a brilliant look at some of the islands around Sweden and Denmark as we... and there's the bridge. I think that's Sweden over there. There's the bridge to Sweden, I think. Lovely calm day. A little bit of disturbance on the water, but not a heck of a lot. It is a lovely day today in Copenhagen. See, Nighthawk is already past his 10,000. Keep an eye on that for us as well. We can, while we're here, take off our taxi and turn off lights. Past transition altitude, we will go to standard pressure. And there's a great shot of that bridge there, like that. Passing 7,000 feet. You can just see Copenhagen Airport off our starboard side there. Oh, we got another 737 down there somewhere. X2 Stefan. Stefan, if you're watching it, let us know. I seem to see Stefan a lot, actually. I don't know if he actually watches the stream or if he just happens to randomly appear where I am. Passing 9,000 feet. 16 minutes into our block time today. Passing 10,000, we bring those landing lights back. You can see those retracting there. They do create drag, so it is important to make sure that you fully retracted your landing lights. Otherwise, you'll induce drag when you're flying the plane. Cabin crew can free roam now. Quite happy for them to get up. Give it a little bit longer before we let the passengers loose. And we can extend out that range now, see what we've got ahead of us. Nexen is our final point on this departure. Good morning, Mrs. How are you? I was wondering if you're waiting in the wings there. Hope you and the husband are doing well. Great to see you guys today. So thank you very much for joining us. Got some beautiful scenery ahead of us for sure as well. This says, I'm well, how are you? I am doing okay. It's been a very, very hectic work week. I'm delighted to just sit here and chill out, do some flight simulation. Although I'm not making life easy for myself because we're flying to Innsbruck today, so it's probably going to be about, an hour 45 minutes of chill and then about 15 minutes of terror, but we'll see how it goes. Nighthawk easily cruising up to 20,000 there. He's climbing fantastically there. And just quick checks on the top. Anything else that we should be bothered about? I think we're okay. Everything seems pretty good. Okay, the ground spoilers are still armed, so we can take those off. The ECAM's really, or the EKCH is really good there. Tells you what you're doing wrong before you do it. I'll tell you what we never did is run the takeoff config, but too late for that. I think what we will do though is put on our fuel. We took 77.5 ton today. Flight plan called for about 6,100, so I just bumped it up a little bit. Notice with the fly-by-wire that SimBrief tends to go a bit low on your fuel, so it's always good to take about an extra 1,000, just in case. And if we go to our fuel prediction here, you can see we're expected to land in LOWI with about 3.3 ton, which is completely acceptable. A little bit on the heavy side maybe, but nothing too worrying. It'll be a full flat line today. The winds aren't that big, so we'll get the airplane nice and slow and see if we can get as graceful a touchdown as possible on that short runway. And here we got Patty. Hi, Patty. You think you might be Irish? Nighthawk says, for landing at Innsbruck, if there is a 10-knot wind from 250 and we're landing at 8, will we not have a 10-knot tailwind? Yeah, probably. Actually, we'll have a look at that. Which begs the question why SimBrief gave that to me in the first place, but... yeah, it's a good question, isn't it? So we might have to recalibrate that. Yeah, interesting one to contemplate. Now, it could be based on weather prediction. So I think what we'll do is we'll wait till we get a bit further into the cruise and we'll just do a check on that. If the winds come down, actually I can see that they've already looked, just as we were talking there, Nighthawk, they've changed 050 at 8 knots now, so I'm slightly less concerned with that. It'll be a slight tailwind, but nothing too dramatic. The sim brief might be doing on the predicted weather as opposed to the actual weather now. But so I think what we'll do is I'll keep the flight plan in. I'll keep an eye on it. And if we need to change the approach, then we'll just have to do that. Not something I like to do mid-flight, but hey ho. Real pilots have to do it. I suppose we should be expected to do it as well. Oh, we're stuck at 12,000 here. Let's get up to 36. We weren't paying attention. There we go. Didn't lose too much time because we have accelerated, but we're not where we're supposed to be. Probably burning a little bit of extra fuel in doing that as well, so. I was wondering why Nighthawk was so far above me. Okay. While the airplane is climbing, I'll give you some lovely shots as we depart. And I'll be right back. Just going to grab some coffee. I'll see you in a minute. Alright, back with you guys. I just need to cough my brains out. Getting close, getting close. See Nighthawk's nearing his cruising altitude there. Take those seatbelt signs off, I think. Hopefully give enough time for the cabin crew to get everything set up. Okay. Everything's looking good. So, Mr. and Mrs. Tippy, what are you up to today? You doing some shopping? If you're still with us. Ooh, Nighthawk Eagle higher than 36,000. Oh no, you're leveling off. Got an F-18 out there. Wonder if we're gonna get buzzed. It doesn't happen as often as I thought it might too. You know, you see all these fighter jets out there, but you think they're just gonna buzz you all the time. It says shopping was done yesterday, so just a relaxing day. Lovely. What's the temperature like where you guys are today? I can't remember if you mentioned you're out near Ajax somewhere, were you? Coffee right now. Yeah, I've got the old Tim Hortons mug there. I got it in my hand and I got it in the plane. Oshawa, yeah. It's really warm today. It's gonna in Scotland. We're expecting 21 degrees Celsius. So, but September, for whatever reason, seems to be a really hot month here. It's August. It's usually the letdown, and then it gets warm. We get like really warm May. Tend to get a warm June, July, and August this year. Just been terrible, and now it's getting warm again. So the kids haven't really had much on the holidays. Chilled this morning, 11 degrees and raining. Oh, that is a bit colder. Top of descent will be looks to be about 20 miles past Mikkels. And when we're coming back down, we really need to keep an eye on everything. You got to be at the right place at the right time to land in LOWI without too much problems. Ooh, didn't know there was more to that. Wind's still holding about 8 knots at 050. It's not the ideal runway to land at, but I might keep the flight plan as it is. I just want to talk through something as well. So in the plan, I've actually put in a waypoint here. I'll show you. So as mentioned, we come in at ʻhɑw'n. Now, the way, once you fly over RTT, it basically puts you right at ʻhɑw'n, and then you have to turn around. So what I've done is I put a custom waypoint in, about 10 miles north of ʻhɑw'n, just to give us a bit more time to turn around, make sure we have plenty of space to slow down. I've overridden too, so at RTT I'm going to be about 14,000 feet. And hopefully the top of the descent is calibrated to that. So, which I didn't do the last time on my practice run, so I'm hoping this is going to work out a little bit better, because I really do want to get the airplane nice and slow. Next week we're back up in the 30s. Ooh, right. That custom waypoint was it was ʻhɑw'n, just above ʻhɑw'n. So if I go there's ʻhɑw'n there. So what I typed in was ʻhɑw'n slash due north, so 000 slash 10, if you can see that. And then I just dropped it in over ʻhɑw'n, which put the custom waypoint in there. It does actually, I think it does actually tell you, doesn't it? I'm not sure. But yeah, that seems to, just gives you a bit more of a sensible turnaround after you overfly Rattenberg. Hopefully it all works. Just about top descent. Whoa, that's not what I meant to do. Make sure the autopilot didn't kick off. It did. That's a good way to crash the plane. Over Germany now. I think we're coming in over Germany. Take that right out to full range here. So we've got 501 miles to travel.
Flight deck, your captain speaking. We've just reached our cruising altitude for the flight. As we begin to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your feet dug square from the aisle, as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin with galley cards shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating to the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you, FO. Yeah, so you got about 498 miles to run. Estimated arrival into LOWI at 12:06 Zulu. Which is interesting. Why is that 12:06? 10:51 now. Yeah, Miklos. So just over an hour and 10 minutes or so. Actually, is that right? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. We'll get there when we get there. Right, we are at cruise level. Shall we do some news? We've got a brand new news team now. So let's hit it. Yes, lots of news today. So, huge press on the iFly Max 737 Max. It's looking really good. I mean, they're really putting their heart and soul into this, and some really good exterior shots there. It's looking fantastic. I mean, here's a lovely one in the 2. I like that. A lot of detail on the paint. I mean, if it flies as good as it looks on the outside, guys, this thing's going to be a real winner. Love the Air Canada job there. It is looking really, really good. I'm actually starting to get a little bit excited about it. I don't know. Oh, wow. So you can actually see the nose cone coming off. And now, does anybody know what this is? This funny looking dish there. I'm not trying to be condescending. That is the, I believe that's the weather radar anyway. Yes, it is. Yeah, that is a radar dish. Yep, absolutely. It is. Right, moving on, iFly's also shown off some of their external lighting, which is also looking really, really good. Like I said, if it flies half as good as it looks, it's going to be something really special. Look at that. Look at the interior shot. I love that. The water beads on this are really nice. And we got a little bit of footage down here as well. So I think this is to do with the flaps. This is what this was showing. So you can see those flaps extending there. Looking really good. Don't know if we'll get a takeoff there, will we? Yeah, I think that's pretty much the extent of that fun. Okay, fair enough. Moving on. Aerosoft has released Frankfurt International. No, they're saying that it's coming imminently, 5th of September. I think it's already out. And that is looking really cool. So if you fly into Frankfurt a lot and you want to benefit from Aerosoft's attention to detail, you can go and check that out. I believe you can get that on, you might be able to buy it on Orbix, but I think you can definitely get it on Just Flight. Could be wrong, but I think you can. And certainly you should be able to find it from Aerosoft's site anyway. Now, if you're into your military stuff and you like the stealth stuff, Top Mock Studios, not one I'm totally familiar with, they've come out with the B2 Spirit. which is looking really cool from the outside there. Oh, I love that moonshot. Look at that. That is really neat. So that is now available, I believe. There's a good view of the cockpit, which is looking pretty awesome. And a lot of details around the entryway. It'd be cool if you can actually retract that and see. That's really neat. And you can also open the bomb bay doors, which is neat. So if you want to protect it, pretend that you're ending the world, and you want to do that in style in the stealth bomber, go check it out. It looks really cool. Again, that is Top Mock Studios. Fly Too High has released Brownsville Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator. That is an airport located east of, what did they say it was? Downtown Brownsville. 5 miles east of downtown Brownsville. Okay, right, there you go. So, I'm not really that familiar with Texas, but looks like it's a small regional airport anyway. But detail looks pretty cool. Looks really nice. So, yeah, if you do a lot of flying in the United States, especially around Texas area, that might be something right up your alley. And that is coming from a Fly Too High. You can get that on the In-A-Build store. And it's only £12.49 British sterling, so that would probably be, I would imagine, about $14 US, or 14 euros. In-A-Builds has released a T-33 trainer, which is looking pretty good as well. Some nice external shots there. Of course, you know, In-A-Builds, they're continuing to put a lot of airplanes, so if you're interested in that. T-33 has a long history. And you can see they've really put their heart and soul into this. I love some of the decals there. Looking pretty good. The cockpit looks absolutely insane. Look at this. So that is looking pretty cool. And just see a little takeoff here. But yeah, if you're a big fan of the vintage military jets, this is probably a good one to add to your fleet, and it comes from In-A-Builds. And I'd imagine you'll be able to get that on the In-A-Builds website as well. But that is looking pretty cool. That is the T-33 trainer. Just Flight. Oh, they're teasing us, guys. They're teasing us. Look at this overhead shot. This is the A300. It looks amazing. Amazing. Honestly. Absolutely stunning. Good shot of the circuit breakers there as well. But it's just looking so gorgeous. And of course, Just Flight. I mean, such an incredible developer for vintage jets as well. So I guarantee you're not going to expect anything less than absolute perfection from this. Definitely, we're keeping a close eye on this, and of course, Just Flight are huge sponsors for us. And I'm just so excited. It looks like a really awesome model, and I know because it's Just Flight, it's going to be absolutely stunning. Finally, Rex has announced something called Rex Atmos, and essentially what it does is it revamps the weather to make it look a bit more awesome, I guess. Now, it does piggyback on Active Sky, so there's a couple things you need to get there, but you can see it does make a massive difference. It'll be of some debate. I mean, I think some people will like what it does, some people might not so much, but if you're definitely looking for something to enhance that weather a bit more, you can't go wrong with Rex Atmos, and I believe that will probably be available on Orbix. I'm just going to check. And of course, we do use AccuSeason, which works really well. And as we get into the autumn months, that's going to become more and more important. So that's news today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll get right back to our regular show. Okay, where are we? You don't do the air. Timmy says don't do the airliners, but that looks great. Yeah, it really does. Just Flight, their attention to detail is, well, they're best of breed. I honestly, I can't think of a better developer than Just Flight. I would even rank them above PMDG. Not that I want to compare them, because Just Flight doesn't really do anything that PMDG does. PMDG does what PMDG does well, which is the 777 and 737. I imagine the Queen of Skies will be coming out at some point. And they are extremely, extremely good. But I must admit, when you look at stuff that Just Flight comes out with, it is so awesome. It's very, very hard to choose and say which one's a better developer. But so you know, they are at that level anyway. And they really do take pride in their products. Okay. We are 160 miles away from our next turn, so it's pretty much straight path at the moment. But atop of descent looks like that's going to be coming in just after Dosel. So we'll keep an eye on that. Definitely keeping an eye on speeds as well. So we might have to get those speed brakes out every so often just to make sure the airplane's under control. And at the moment, there's not much in the way of scenery to look out. It's very flat. But as we get closer to Innsbruck, that is going to change rather dramatically. So, as mentioned, it's about an hour 45 minutes of chill with 15 minutes of terror. And we'll just do a quick check on our fuel prediction here. So we have dropped a little bit, probably because we're stuck at 12,000 for a while. 2.9 ton now on landing. Still well over what we need. And we're completely safe. Looks like the temperatures are all fine. Nobody's going to be arguing about that, I would imagine. Probably stick the engines on here. Oh, we'll check the hydraulics. What the heck? Everything in the green. Looking good. Okay, see, Nighthawk, there's an F-14 looks like to be right near you. Are you getting buzzed? Or is that Mississippi? It is. And the F-14, brilliant. I have an F-14 as well, so hopefully it might actually look like an F-14. Well, while I'm thinking about it, then I'm just going to put my TCAS into advisory. Otherwise, the plane's going to do all sorts of goofy stuff. So feel free to buzz me if you want. I've never seen the F-14 from the outside, actually. It's you, yeah. I could just see that, yeah. You don't fly airliners, no problem. Well, come over and pay me a visit. I'd love to see what you look like. Bad girl in the F-14. Is she doing a good job of formation, Nighthawk? Nighthawk, get a photo of me. I don't know if you have the F-14, unfortunately, but get a screenshot. But certainly, if you fly anywhere near me, Mrs., I'll definitely get a screenshot as well. Need some Top Gun music now, eh? So I might have mentioned this before, but Epidemic Sound was getting pretty expensive, so I went and checked out. YouTube actually has a lot of stock music now that initially when I got Epidemic Sound, it wasn't very good. YouTube didn't have much to offer, but I thought, well, I'll go and have a look, and I'll tell you what. I don't know if you guys can tell the difference, but I've got a whole catalog of music now from YouTube, and it's pretty good. I don't feel like I'm missing Epidemic Sound. So, of course, I've had to change the intros, the news things, and the outro reel with new music because I don't have that license. I've actually canceled the subscription, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not missing it. the YouTube music, and it's completely free as long as you use it on YouTube. I can't use it anywhere else, so I couldn't go like on Twitch. But I don't go on Twitch anyway. So I'm just using it for YouTube. I'm really enjoying it. There's some great music on it. The F-14 appears as an F-18 for you. Okay, well, I can see Mrs. is chasing me down, so I'm sure we'll see her shortly. Mrs. says, the F-14 is one of my favorites to fly. Yeah, it is a really awesome model, isn't it? Of course, it benefits from that amazing heat blur external modeling. Well, there she goes. Hopefully the model matches. I do have the F-14 loaded, so hopefully the model matches properly. It doesn't take long to catch up, does it? It certainly makes the journey a bit more exciting, doesn't it, while we're flying over relatively flat ground. Okay, you just give me a heads up when you're close, and I'll mind you, I should see a TCAS alert on there anyway. But I've put it into advisory only, so the airplane isn't going to move around. Because it can be quite aggressive if it picks up local traffic. 52 minutes into our flight now. Currently at 11:07 Zulu, so again, going back to our flight plan, 12:05 now estimated for Innsbruck, so we're just under an hour, 58 minutes before we get to Innsbruck. And top of descent is going to be top of descent will be about 11:38 Zulu, so that is not far away, just about 20 minutes, or no, 30 minutes. All looking good. Lots of traffic in the skies today. We can just see an outline of the moon there. And don't ask me if it's waxing or waning. It'll be one of the two. Very cool. Love that. I always laugh when you think about people who think of flat Earth, and it's modeled quite well in Flight Simulator. So if the moon and in our relative position is there, and the sun's up there, then obviously it's going to look like that because that's where the light is hitting it. Now, if the moon, say, was over here, we'd see a lot more of it because the sun would be hitting it more directly, and we'd see that being reflected back to us. Whoa, there goes that F-14. That was quick. Barely even caught it. Didn't realize that was going to be a flyby. Sorry, you gotta warn me in the future. Looked very impressive, though. Okay. So we do have things will get a bit more interesting on the route in about 120 miles or so. Just going to step away for a sec. I'll be right back, guys. Stay with me. Glad you're here. And while I'm dodging away, you flew by inverted too. Yeah, you just got to give me a heads up. Sids, hey Sids, how you doing, mate? Great to see you. What's up? He says. What's up, Sids? Hope you're doing okay. Challenging landing today, Sids. If you're going to stick around, I'm flying into Innsbruck today. It'll be interesting. Anyway, I'll be right back, guys. Hang tight. I'll see you shortly. Right back with you guys there. Sid says, I'm there till you land. I'll love to hear that, Sids. Thank you so much. Glad you're sticking around. And how are you doing, Sids? How's life for you? That's an interesting name. Bogdan Gagoy? Hopefully we'll get another flyby by Mississippi or possibly some formation. I want to get a close look at that F-14. It's really awesome. I think it's India Foxtrot Echo, if I recall, and heat blur. Your top of descent is after ʻhɑw'n? How could it be? It doesn't make any sense. That's ʻhɑw'n's like pretty much your final approach, is it not? Yeah. Yeah, something's gone awry there. I'll show you what I'm looking at. ʻhɑw'n's like I'm going to be at 13,000 feet at ʻhɑw'n, right? And there it is. There's the approach. You should be at 13,000 feet at ʻhɑw'n. So that there's no way that's your top of descent. What to do, Nighthawk? Go into the flight plan. It might not have picked that up, so go in and make sure that 13,000 is the altitude set for ʻhɑw'n, and hopefully it'll recalculate. But yeah, something sounds very suspicious about that. Sid says, I love seeing Microsoft Flight Simulator streams. I'm an av geek and I like planes. Yeah, well, you're in good company, mate. We're all the same. We all love airplanes. And we love Flight Simulator as well. No, glad. It's always great to have you along, Sids. Thanks for coming. Okay. So we're about 80 miles from Makosi. At least we'll start doing a few turns here, just to wake us up a bit. Still very flat. I think you can just see in the distance some mountains there, and that's only going to get closer. We'll do a quick weather check as well. Right, how things have changed. So we now have 170, 9 knots, gusting 19. So that could make life very interesting. So we just want to hope that those weather predictions are correct. Sid says, I'm saving to buy Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and even the equipment needed to fly the planes, it's hard playing with keyboard and mouse. Oh, dude, you should get a Thrustmaster. So I've got a Thrustmaster T1600. That's what I use. That's my main stick. And that's been absolutely brilliant. If you see the Thrustmaster Airbus control, it's basically the same stick with different color on it, but it's absolutely solid. I don't think they're horribly expensive, and you can use that if you don't have rudder pedals. It does have a twist on it, so you can use that for rudder in the short-term period. But I would, when you can get rudder pedals, it makes things a lot easier. Getting closer, said Mrs. Oh, right. Let's see if we can see you. Oh, yeah. Getting closer. Ever so close. I'll keep an eye on that. Sid says, if you've shortlisted some of them, Uncle, you'll get them as soon as you can. Yeah. Yeah, it does add up, unfortunately. I mean, I've bought things intermittently over the years. I do have a I've just got the Cytec, or what is now Logitech. Was it Logitech now? I can't remember. It's the Cytec throttle quadrant, which does fine with me. I've got the Thrustmaster. I've got also the Thrustmaster basic pedals. I would love to go and get all the fancy stuff out there, but I'll be honest with you, I don't have the disposable income to go and get it. So unless some friendly manufacturer is going to give those to me for free, I'll gladly show them off. But until that day comes, I'm quite happy with what I got. And I've actually got a second Thrustmaster set for the other. Oh, wow, there you go. Oh, no, it didn't come on as an F-14. It looks like just a normal plane. Oh, what a shame. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's very strange. I do have the F-14 loaded. How much more time till landing? So it is currently 11:17 Zulu. And we're predicted to be in Innsbruck at 5 minutes past 12 Zulu, so just about 45 minutes, I would say. Maybe 50. 45 minutes, yeah. Who's the military guy? Oh, that was Mrs. Tippy, yeah. Oh, you're in the DC Designs one. Ah, right. Okay. That's why. Yes, and I know Nighthawk's probably going to have a shout at me at model matching. I did look at it. I just haven't done anything with it yet. That's one thing I'm hoping with 2024, that there's going to be a bit better model matching, but it'd be nice if they just had some basic models, like nothing fancy, just something that looks like all the general airplanes. I don't think it's too much of an ask. I wouldn't expect them to do things like like a Banshee or even a Harrier, but certainly any modern military planes like an F-14, an F-15, an F-18, Typhoon, F-35, F-22. I would it hurt them just to put in a basic model so we got something to model match against when we're playing the sim? Or likewise, I mean, it'd be great if companies like DC Designs, every time they do a new model, if they actually provided a free external model, which you can't fly, but you can drop it into your community folder, and it just gives a model matching option for all your friends. If you've gone and bought that, then you can say, here's an external, or maybe they can get it from the site, and then if you throw that in, then I'll still look like what I am. And that, for me, that'd be a great way to advertise the airplane, because if someone buys a DC Designs F-15 and I can see the F-15 even though I didn't have to buy it, I'll think, oh wow, that looks really cool, I might want to buy that, Exactly, as long as they show it as basically the same style plane jet, I'd be happy. Yeah. Sid says it's 1650 hours in India and it's your tea time. All right, no worries, I'll carry my laptop and sit while watching the stream. No worries. You're such a gentleman, Sid. Thank you. And what's the temperature where you are today, Sid? Is it on the warm side or the cold side? When does Sid? When's your rainy season? Is that coming up soon? See, that TCAS is definitely saying something up ahead. I think Nighthawk might be getting a bit closer to Nighthawk, actually. So Nighthawk, just on reference, my top of the Sen is just out after Dosel. So it's up to you, but I would probably set 13,000 to get down to Elmem from Dosel. Love the music today, too. Who needs epidemic sound, eh? Thank you very much, YouTube. Starting to see that ground get a little bit more bumpy. Starting to see some ridges up there. We can definitely see some sort of line out there. I think that'll be the start of the mountains. Nighthawk says, how high will I be at Rattenberg? I'll be, I think I set that for 14,000. Reason being, I want lots of room. There goes Mississippi again, buzzing me in that at 14. The reason being is I want lots of room to decelerate to about 210 knots. And actually, I might even take it down to 190 by the time I get to Elman. Actually, I'm going to put that in now. Now that I think about it. Yeah, I'm going to change that to 190. And you can see everything recalculating there. And that's forced 190 throughout, so that should be quite good. Once we start our descent, I think we'll take it right down to our approach speed as well. It is a bit of a steep angle too, 3.6 degrees, so it might need some speed braking. Sid says Tippy thinks he's Tom Cruise from Top. Well, that's Mrs. Tippy actually. Top Gun from Maverick. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Top of descent, edging ever closer, just over 80 miles. TCAS is lit up like a Christmas tree. I'm definitely closing in on Nighthawk here. Might give Nighthawk a bit more room. So I'm going to slow down to Mach 7.5 just for a little bit. Nighthawk, you just stay at the speed you're going. Just extend that distance just a little bit more. I don't want us to get all bunched up at Innsbruck because it's going to be a lot to think about. Tippy said you could probably teach Maverick a thing or two. Honestly, certainly looks like she knows what she's doing. I'll give her that. And we've got a minor left turn coming up here. Just see those mountains in the distance there. Once we get down to Elmham, things are going to happen very, very quickly. So I'll probably turn off the music, and I may not pay as much attention to the chat as I can do because it's still. I've done Innsbruck a few times, and it's still every time I do it, it's never the same. I'm always doing something slightly different, no matter how much I plan. So, worst case scenario, if the airplane isn't doing what I think it needs to do, I will take control of the plane and we'll try and get down as safely as possible on manual. But I'm really, really wanting to try and line up the precision approach using the autopilot as much as I can until we get close enough, and then hopefully, and I want to be configured. I want to be at the right speed. I want our flaps to be in the right configuration. You know, it should be easily manageable just to get down to that runway safely. And if I feel like I've done that, then I'll know that I've done it right. Tippy says, I'll be giving you lots of space. I'm about 200 nautical miles behind. Oh, are you flying? Oh, so you are. And you are in a... What are you in? HA420. What's that? Oh. Very cool. Oh, the Honda Jet. Okay. I'm glad you could join us. Mind you, if we hang around long enough, I might be able to catch you landing. You gonna make a run for Innsbruck then? Okay, I'm gonna back off that range a bit. Keeping an eye on that top of descent marker. Now we have slowed down, so that descent marker's moved. Actually, looks like it's reset itself. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that you're glad, and I'm glad that you're glad, and I'm glad. Just personally glad. Does that make any sense? Okay, well, I'll try and stick around as long as we can. I've been tasked with doing some interim shopping when I'm done the stream. So Mrs. Canuck has a small list of things that she needs me to get to top up. But I've got to go out anyway. I got to get lots of barbecue sauce, and the reason is I've got a pack of drumsticks, and I'm going to be slow cooking them tomorrow. So I got to marinate them tonight, and then it's all getting piled in the slow cooker tomorrow. I'm going to give it a good 6 hours in that slow cooker. Do it up with probably do it up with mashed potatoes, garlic mashed potatoes, and sometimes put a little cheese in it as well, just to spice it up a bit. And some steamed veg, carrots and broccoli, and that'll be the dinner I'm serving to the family tomorrow. Oh yeah, I love the slow cooker. It's awesome. Yeah, it's quite the approach. You're right. Yeah, it really is. Okay, I think probably giving Nighthawk plenty of space here, so we'll plunk the speed back into manage mode, and the airplane will take us back up to Mach 7.8. Because I do want that plane to help. I do want the autopilot to help me on the way down. I'm trying to reduce workload, so if it can manage the speeds for me, that would be amazing. And I'll just check what speed did I set at Rattenberg. Right, so let's it should be alright. Should be okay. We'll keep an eye on it. Hey Jack, he says, where's my invite for dinner? It'd be a bit of a travel for you, mate. How are you? I hope you're doing well, Jack. Thanks for joining on. You'll like this approach, Jack. This is not one that I get right all the time. If you've ever been skiing, anybody that's been skiing on the Europe side anyway probably knows Innsbruck. I've never been there in real life. I'd love to go. It looks beautiful. I can't imagine it's particularly inexpensive. But okay, so we're going to get our top of descent ready here. We got restrictions, so I know we want to be down about 3,000 at some point, but the airplane will fly through the constraints. So I'll get 3,000 dialed into there, and it just means that once we're hitting all of our kind of key points, the plane will start to descend. But once we get past älmnen, we're going to drop this into controlled 3.6 degree down bubble. But actually, we'll see if the airplane will do it on its own. Nighthawk says the mighty potato is flying in air. Oh, right. Off to our right. Mighty potato. Let's see if we can find him. Do we know a mighty potato? I'm not sure. It's definitely getting crowded up here, though. And I can still see Tippy back there in the Honda Jet. Ahead to the right. Yeah, I've got a couple kind of overlapping, so that's possibly why I can't see it. Imagine it's one of those two, then. Okay, top of descent is now 40 miles, so we're going to keep an eye on that. Because we don't want to miss it. We don't want to get above profile. Oh, here comes Mississippi in the F-14. There's a whole bunch of planes down there. All clumped together. I wonder if that's another stream or just a bunch of friends flying around together. That's pretty cool. They're really close. Close to each other, I should say. You can see a 321. What else? 321, two 321s. I think that's a 320. Looks like they might be flying the Phoenix. Dutch planes. Dutch planes, okay. Maybe someone can have a look for me, see if Dutch Planes is a streamer. I've never bumped into a fellow content creator by accident before, so that'd be pretty cool if he's actually streaming. Have we blown our top of descent? No, it's coming up here. Okay. Whew. Getting nervous now. Right, focus, Willie, focus. Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna ding the cabin crew just to let them know we're getting ready to drop. Usually just gives them a bit of a heads up. They can start packing up some stuff and going up and down the cabin with the garbage bags, try and get as much debris out of the cabin. Seatbelts will be going on much earlier than usual, so. Oh, approach information, that'd be a good thing, eh? I'll have to get that set up. I completely forgot. QNH. Looks like those winds are going to give us a real problem here. Oh well. 16 knots? Well. It's going to be a crosswind, so I think we're gonna stick with runway 8. But it looks like the sim brief knew what the weather was going to do, so at least it's not gusting to 19 anymore. 1013 on the QNH. Keep an eye on that top descent. Temperature today is 28 degrees. Ooh, that's warm. Super warm. And what did we say? 16015. Gives us approach 133. We will go fully configured, and we'll put a I believe the barrel on decision height for this is about 2900, so I'll plug that in. Okay, top descent is just over 20 miles away. Excuse me, folks, if I don't pay full attention to the chat for a second. Elevation at airport is 1,894 feet, so yeah. Okay, getting really close to that top of the descent now. I'm going to drop the range down even further. I'll probably hit it actually at dorsal because it's so close. I'd rather get below the profile than above it. Otherwise, you're going to have all sorts of speed problems. I don't really want to use the speed brake as much, that much. You see Nighthawks descending, and it looks like Mississippi is tracking them in that F-14 as well. And we still got Tippy behind us in the Honda Jet. Yes, guys, if you wouldn't mind, hit that like button for me. Hit the subscribe if you're not subscribed. It really helps us out. Dorsal coming up. I think once the airplane starts to return, I'll initiate that descent. Almost. You can definitely see the mountains coming in now. Look at that. Yeah, definitely see mountains. There, that's the turn starting. We'll put the descent into managed mode, and the airplane will begin to drop. And there's the profile marker bang on right there, so it looks like we've done that just in time.
From the flight deck, ladies and gentlemen, as you may have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination.
You see an airport down there. I wonder which one that is.
Business you need to take care of as we prepare for our approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until the aircraft.
A few people getting ready to take off.
Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
You can definitely see that mountain range there. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Okay, we are about 800 feet below profile. I'm quite happy with that. Just means we don't have to worry about speed. So if the airplane wants to fly shallow for a bit, it can do that. And we'll get our QNH ready. So it's 10:13. I'm just going to quickly switch that. That's already plumbed into our backup anyway. Nighthawk says, so it looks like hard braking to stop or run off the end of the runway. Yep. You got it. Positive landing, get those brakes on. That is definitely what you're going to do. Catching up to profile now. I should see the airplane starting to drop even further. And just keep an eye on that speed. We do have a headwind. I mean, in theory, the airplane should be able to keep profile without too much difficulty, but as good as the fly-by-wire is, I would say the VNAV can be a little bit unpredictable. It's generally pretty good, but you really do need to keep an eye on it. And I think it's possibly because the descent vector that it works out isn't necessarily as good as it could be. So it sometimes finds it hard to keep up with it. But at the moment, it looks like we're okay. Look at those Austrian mountains coming up there. Extend the range out again. So our approach begins at Tulsi. Over Rattenberg there. We want to be about 14,000 in Rattenberg, so that's what it's aiming for. You can see that that constraint is actually in there. So we can, if we want to see what that constraint looks like on the map, just stick that in. We can see Tulsi at 9,500. I think, is that above 9,500? Yeah, plus 9,500. Just do a quick check there. Yeah, that's fine. In reality, when we pass Tulsi, it will be about 19,000. Which seems rather high. But if we've got to get down to 14,000 by Rattenberg. But it's given us tons of room, and then that means it's almost a flat line to our custom waypoint before LMM. Lots of time to get to 13,000, lots of time to get the airplane slowed down to 190. And there's those glorious mountains coming in. Probably put the seatbelts on about 20,000 feet. Get everyone buckled in. You never know when things are going to get dicey, so better to have all the passengers belted in and secured before we get into our approach. But can you imagine just coming in and seeing that view out the side window outside window as a passenger. Really cool. Okay. Quite a lot of distance to cover altitude-wise before we get to Tulsi, or Rattenberg, I should say. But it says we're on profile. So I'll put a little bit of faith in the plane. It is almost 35 miles, so maybe that can make a difference. Actually, more, 30 miles. Approaching 24,000. Fuel prediction's gone up again, so 3.4 ton when we land, which is absolutely fine. But we will be a little bit on the heavy side. Okay, making our final turn towards Rattenberg. And we're just going to get an absolute glorious view of those mountains. Very green this time of year, though. Extremely green. Still see some snow peaks right at the high points there. Okay. I'm really questioning whether this airplane's going to get down to 14,000 by Rattenberg. It says we're on profile. It just doesn't feel like it's on profile. 20 miles to... well, 6,000 feet maybe. Yeah. Maybe I'm just panicking. I was the same with the PMD G737. I didn't trust that VNAV either, but it does work. The good thing is that green dot is right where it needs to be, which is right in the middle, and that's what we want to see. 20,000 feet. I did say I was going to put seatbelts on, so we will get those on now. Get those passengers secured in. So much to look at. It's very easy to get distracted. Very easy. Look at that. Not nice. Wow. Gorgeous. Definitely a very beautiful part of the world. Okay, we got that right hook coming in here. And we're definitely not hitting 14,000 by Rattenberg. I'll eat my hat. But luckily, I'm glad that I did set that altitude, because that gives us a nice long run to get down to 13,000 by the time we get to LMM. So I'll give the VNAV in this case 7 out of 10, because we're still just a touch high, but we're not too far away. 2,000 feet out isn't dramatically horrible, but it's still not where it should be. And sometimes it's better with the fly-by-wire version. I couldn't comment on the Fenix. I would imagine that's maybe a little bit better, but With the fly-by-wire, it's usually better to kind of plan ahead and get ahead of the airplane. So if you know the airplane might be late on its altitudes, you know, look at how you can reduce your risk. In this case, you know, setting 14,000 at Rattenberg, so I don't have to worry about my altitude when I get to final approach. Miss Tippy says, I've landed and I'm parked on the grass. All right. Well done. How was your landing? So actually, no, we're just about passing Rattenberg, and we're at 14.7. So you know what? Take it back. Actually, the VNAV's done exactly what it was meant to do. Pretty much, just as we're passing it off our wing. 400 feet. Look, yeah. So I am wrong. Take it back. 9 out of 10 VNAV. 9 out of 10. Okay, we do have constraints, and I'm going to engage the approach mode now. Which is going to tell the airplane to slow down. But we got a nice long run. This is our decel point anyway. Nice long run to our custom waypoint to get down to 13,000. So that gives the airplane lots of time to bleed off that speed. While still staying well above our minimum safe altitude so we don't hit a mountain. It was great. Good. Excellent. Probably not the easiest runway to land on when you're in a fighter jet, actually. See if you can spot some ski runs up here. I don't know. Might be hard to do in the summertime, but yeah, you still get a little bit of ice caps up there, don't you? There we go. Airplane's slowly getting down the green dot. We'll bring out flaps 1 when we do, just to give a little bit of extra drag. Bring those landing lights on as well. That's going to create a little bit of drag in the plane. Just gives a nice little subtle braking effect. Gaming Foe, he says, hello, hello fam? How you doing, mate? Gaming, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming along. You've actually hit it just the right point. We're just about to start our approach into Innsbruck, which is hopefully not going to be too challenging, but it can be a bit dicey. Okay, looking good so far. And we're leveling off at 13,000. Hear those engines spooling up again. Bring out flaps 1. Okay. You can see the we put in 190 on that custom waypoint, and the airplane's now brought that in. Actually, I think it's brought that in because I've put the flaps down to 1. That's possibly why. But it gives us about 190, which is where I want to be. So that's absolutely fine. So probably didn't need to be this low quite this soon. Granted. And actually, if I thought about it, I could put in a custom waypoint. Maybe midway up from Rattenberg to get us down to 14,000. But it's alright. And it also gives us lots of time to take in the views. Look at that. Looks like Nighthawk is getting ready for his final approach. So I don't mind being this low this early because you just get some really awesome views here. See watching Nighthawk to come down there. You could almost reach out and scoop some snow up there, couldn't you? The headwind isn't helping us too much, is it? It's weird, Nighthawk almost looks like he's just floating there. Still see Tippy anywhere? Where's that Honda jet going? Maybe up here somewhere. Up to my left at 19,000. Oh, there you are. Surely you are. Huh? Well, if you're descending, that means you're pretty close. Actually, because I'm going so slow too, you'll probably catch up to me. I won't have to be waiting too long to see you land. I just love the scenery here. I know I keep saying that, but it is really cool. A nice leisurely approach before things get crazy. Okay. Right, approach checklist. We want a auto brakes medium, which is the highest we can go for this. Once we start approach, we'll get a slight freeze there, let that sort itself out, hopefully, without crashing. Which seems to happen from time to time. Really annoying. Right, there we go. Everything all good in the world. So once we start our descent, we'll put our turning lights on. Give us lots of visibility. Just about 20 miles out, so I'm just going to give a final ding to the cabin there, just let them know that we need to start securing the cabin. Passengers are already buckled in, so there's nothing to worry about there, and hopefully they're getting some nice views here as well. Tippy says I did not add the custom waypoint, so I might have to take over to do the turn. Okay, fair enough, yeah. Well, what you could do is just if you just fly a heading, so as you're coming towards it, just fly heading and just steer your heading off about 5 degrees and do it that way. I mean, the main thing, what you're trying to do is give yourself lots of room, so when you come into LMM, you want to be heading straight the direction that you need to be. You want to be at 13,000, you want to be nice and slow, so you can descend relatively easily into Innsbruck. Otherwise, things just get really complicated really quick. Here we go. 15 miles from a turn, and then we start the fun stuff. Also, when I start the descent, I'll go into take it out of standard pressure, go into our QNH, which will be 1013. That's not changed. knots are also remaining stable, or sorry, winds are remaining stable at this point as well. So this is basically a 15 knot crosswind, which will make things a little bit interesting, but we should be okay. But it's closer to a headwind than it was before. Nighthawk, there he is. Nighthawk is in the pipe, down to 8,000 feet. He's now below the mountaintop, so he'll be focusing hard. Should be able to get a. Here he is. There's another Airbus 320 up there as well. There's Tippy, 11,000 feet. Okay, 10 miles from our base turn. Still got a bit of coffee, I might need it. See someone turning base there. Burko. It's a busy airport today. There's Tippy. Tippy's on final. I think Nighthawk's probably disappeared below the mountains. A very busy airport today. The other thing, when we start our descent, we'll definitely get more flaps out as well. So I'll leave it in managed speed mode for the time being. But we don't want to be too quick. Excuse me. And it looks like Burko might be making a go for Innsbruck as well. Okay, here we go. I presume he's landing in Innsbruck anyway. Burko, if you're watching, just by coincidence, you let us know. Okay, we're going to take that music off now. It is time to concentrate. Here we go, guys. Secure cabin. Don't really want anybody moving around the airplane on this approach. So for safety reasons, usually a cabin crew can move around right up till the last minute, but in this case, everyone needs to be buckled in. Okay, and we can see just down there. Looks like Nighthawk is landed. How was your landing, Nighthawk? Did you do okay? And Tippy's not far behind him. Save a spot for me on the apron, guys. Let's see Burko. I've lost him. Yep, there's Burko. He's on approach now, by the looks of it. I'll assume so anyway. Yeah. So he... Good separation, though. As long as he vacates. Okay, here we go, guys. Things are going to happen very quick here. Second stage of flaps. Airplane will slow us down a bit, and we are going to drop to minus 3.6 as per the approach instructions. There we go. Let's bring our speed right down. That's fine. We don't want to be too fast doing this. Once the constraint lifts, anyway. Or do I have to pull it down? Probably got to pull it down, don't I? Yeah. There we go. Okay. That's all right. That's we wanted to start it at that first waypoint anyway, so that should be spot on. And down we go into the valley. So I think the airport's just over here somewhere, isn't it? Kind of have to do this little hooky thing without hitting anything. About 150 knots. I think that's completely okay at the moment. And yeah, it looks like the airplane is able to maintain that speed without too much difficulty as well, so that's good. It's very easy to get distracted. So I might bring some music back in. I'm starting to feel a bit quiet here. Okay. And we do have a profile indicator there actually as well, so I might just bring that down to 3.7 so you can catch up to it. Arm the speed brakes. That will bring us flaps 3, I think, just to slow the airplane down. We should be in standard pressure. So that's our, sorry, QNH 1013, which is still correct. Just to give the airplane as much drag as we can, so it's not struggling. Still above, slightly above profile. Worst case scenario, you know, if you can't get that airplane slowed down, get the gear out, and I think that's what we're going to do. drop our descending angle a bit more. 12 knot crosswind from 170 at touchdown. Okay, noted. Thank you. Okay, our landing lights on. The plane is now able to maintain that slower speed, just what I was hoping for. And we're getting close to envelope here, so we'll drop the flaps for. Mia ABD or says hello, hi mate. Yeah, how are you? Just about to see us land in Innsbruck here. And music to my ears has dropped in as well. He says, hello! Music to my ears. All the best to you. Hope you're doing well. Okay, I'm going to increase that descent angle a little bit more. Still above profile. I want to get down to that profile line. We've got everything we can possibly do to try and get this this airplane slowed down. So, and I'm currently descending about 1,400 feet per minute. So. Worst case scenario, we'll go to manual. I don't want to leave this to the last minute to get that on profile, so if need be. But at the moment, I'm not particularly worried. I think we're okay. We're only about maybe a couple hundred feet. Tippy says, I survived the landing, but my autopilot turned back on and made you bounce. As it does, yeah. I think I've had a similar experience in the Honda Jet. Okay, we are now getting on the profile. That is looking good. So I'm going to start backing that off. Feeling a bit more comfortable. So I think we'll expedite 3,000. Now that we're clear of the mountains, there's not really a heck of a lot to worry about here, so I'm quite happy. Actually, 3,100 is where I want to be there. Better slightly low than slightly high, as long as you're not at risk of hitting anything. I'm being followed by a Grim Reaper at A321. Alright. So I am. There he is. There he is. Okay, we're now well below profile there, so we can turn off that expedite, I think. This plane is speeding up a bit. We don't need to go quite that steep anymore. We can start getting shallow and get that plane slowed down. Runway's just around the corner there, so we're keeping an eye on that.
2,500.
We'll turn off our train warning as well. There's that. Because that's just going to start barking at us when we get close to the hills, which is just going to make everything feel a bit panicked. So, okay, game face, here we go. Okay, go manual. Trying to find that runway. Can't quite see it yet.
1,000. 1,000.
Oh, there it is. Okay, see it now.
1,000.
This is why we're going to turn off that train warning, because it would start barking quite hard at this point. Go a little bit wide here.
1,000.
Yeah, thanks for that, Dan.
1,000.
Easy does it. Easy does it.
1,000. 100 above.
Approaching our descent. Our
Minimum.
descent height. Continue. Everything looking okay so far. Looks like Mississippi got a kick out of that. Well, at the moment, this might be one of my most controlled approaches into Innsbruck I've ever had, but I was pretty slow, to be fair, probably a lot slower than it would normally be. A little bit high there, so we're just going to drop that nose a little bit. Looking good, looking good.
400.
Feeling that crosswind a bit, just correcting and getting on the center line. Good, a little bit low, a little bit low. Looking at that threshold marker now, that touchdown mark I should say. And slight corrections, don't want to hit the trees. On the mark,
50.
on
40.
the mark.
30. 20. 10.
Whoa. Get down, get down, get down. Okay, a little bit of stutters there. That kind of threw me off. Full reversers in. Medium bottle brakes is kicking in. And looks like we've done all right there, so we're able to... Oh, got some applause from Dan. Nice, says Tippy. Thank you very much. Who the heck is that? Get out of my face. Trolling around in the orthodontr. That's the last thing you need when you're trying to approach an Innsbruck. Okay. And we're vacating. Alright, get that APU ready to go here. Flaps can come out. We just need to find a place to park. It's very busy here today. That person has been trolling around here for a bit now, haven't they? Okay, yeah. There's always one. There's always one. Is there any space down this side? Oh, that's an awfully big airplane. And he's pushing back as well. Okay. Fine, I will just find a nice spot up here somewhere, I think. See a guy sitting there. As good a spot as any. Don't know if this is actually a parking spot, but it's okay. Must be. Yeah, it must be. That should do it. And we've got APU power, so we can bring those engines off. Taxi light can come off, and seatbelt can come off as well. There we go. How was that then? How was that? There we go, nicely parked. It probably could have pulled ahead a little bit more. Yeah, busy little airport. There's Berko. He was ahead of us before, wasn't he? And we've got someone, Lady Pianos or something like that, in the another Airbus 320 Euro Wings. Bullmeister? Yeah, busy little place. Lots of participation today there. Oh, there I can see Tippy. Don't know, this Tippy might be offline at this point in the Honda jet. But there you go. That is Innsbruck Airport. Busy place today, isn't it? Huge thank you to everyone flying with me today. Of course, as always, we got Nighthawk, and it was great to be joined by Tippy, Mrs. Tippy there as well. And nice spot it is. It's a lovely, lovely spot, actually. Lovely spot. I've, of course, got some shopping to do, but I really appreciate everyone coming along today. Huge thank you. And Dan, who popped in at the end there as well. Great flight, says Nighthawk. Thank you, Nighthawk. Great. Glad you enjoyed it, and glad that you were flying with me. Big shout out to some of new faces today, new and semi-new. Music to Mirrors, I think you've been with us before. Maya and Gaming Foe. Who else we got there? Big shout out to Jack. And Sids, of course, was with us at one point. Always great to hear from Sids. Really, really nice to see him. Apart from that, I wish you all a fantastic weekend, and I hope you have a pleasant week next week as well. Hope the weather's good where you are, and we'll see you next week. We're going to be flying from Mozambique to Madagascar, so stick around for that. We'll see you at the same time right here at 1000 Zulu, because we're still in summertime. 1000 Zulu next week. It's Saturday right here on YouTube. Wish you all the best. Take care, guys. All the best.